G'day guys, welcome back to a bit of a different episode. Behind me here is my wife's brand new Chery Tiggo 4. Now, a few months ago we were actually hunting down cars because we need a car for her to get from A to B. So we started off with second-hand cars and our budget was around $20,000. But the sad reality was it was really hard to find something that has low mileage, that is not thrashed with dings around it, and something with a bit more modern tech as well. So luckily a few weeks later, we went to a shopping center and we saw this car on display and immediately fell in love with it. We went for a test drive and we bought it on the same day because it's only priced at around $23,000 and it comes with a 7-year warranty. I mean, how good is that? So we bought this car about 3,000 kilometers ago. So I'm going to tell you what I love about it and things that can also be improved, because like any car, there's things you'll love and things that can be a little bit better. But anyways, this is a full owner's review, so I'm going to be very honest, and hopefully this also helps you guys out, maybe looking for one. And also, if Chery watches this, awesome, because they can also take note of what I would have loved to be a bit better about this car. So let's get into it. So first things first, the model shown today is the Urban model, which is the base model, and there's also a Ultimate model, which is priced at $26,990, and the Urban is $23,990. And I'll also show you around the car what the Ultimate has over the Urban model. Alright, so let's start with the engine bay. So first thing that I love is obviously bonnet struts. That is just awesome. So let's have a look at the engine. This is a 1.5 litre turbocharged engine, and it's also mated to a 9-speed automatic CVT transmission, which is awesome. So personally, I haven't experienced any hesitation with the box, and I reckon it's the perfect combination. Because there's so many gears, the power delivery is great and it just goes up any mountain. Being turbocharged as well, this thing is very zippy as well, and I love it. So from a mechanical perspective, I mean, it is Chinese, so this is the first time we own a Chinese vehicle, so I can't say whether this is a reliable engine or not, but we are willing to give it a go at the price point. Looking at the radiator fan, it is nice and big though, so overheating shouldn't be an issue. And then in general, if I look at the turbo side and the intake pipes, everything is silicone, so they haven't cheaped out with everything being plastic. So I like to see that. Apart from that, everything else looks pretty good in the engine bay. As you can see, on top of the engine though, there is room for a cover to go on. With the MY2026 model, which is this one, I don't know why, but they changed something so the cover doesn't fit from the MY25 model. Is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. You have a hood to cover the noise and you can't hear the engine unless you actually put your foot flat to the floor. So that's no problem as well. Fuel economy wise, you get about 600 Ks out of a tank. So it's not fantastic, but it's also not bad either. There's also a hybrid model available. It is a little bit dearer though, so you definitely need to work out whether it's actually going to be better, because if you don't do a lot of Ks, then a petrol will be fine. If you do a lot of Ks every single day, that's where I would consider the hybrid model instead. But yeah, across all of them, it's the 1.5 litre turbocharged, and I believe the hybrid model is just a 1.5 litre hybrid version. Another thing I'll add for the fuel efficiency as well, it is a turbocharged car. So normally in the city, a turbocharged would use more fuel than a normal non-turbo car. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're going to do a lot of city driving. It is pretty good on the highway, so that's where I see the best economy. The other thing is it only has 3,000 Ks on it, so it's barely run in. After 10,000 Ks, hopefully, then it should be run in, and I would hope to see a bit better figures fuel economy wise. I'm pretty sure this is also the car's ECU, so it's in the engine bay, so please, whatever you do when you wash the engine bay, don't get water near it because it could lead into all sorts of problems. It also says on the top of the fuse box, no pressure washing, so cool. Just keep that in mind. You don't want to destroy your ECU. Right, so at the front here, as you can see, you have a big diamond grille, which is looking very good. You've got full LED headlights, low and high beam, and you also have sequential LED indicators, which is great. And then down the side here, this is your daytime running lights. And then just underneath the logo, there's a little unit here. Now, there's no camera, but I would assume on the Ultimate, that's where the camera goes because they have 360 cameras, whereas the Urban doesn't. And then down the bottom here, you also have which I believe is a sensor for adaptive cruise control and so on. It might not be for adaptive cruise control, but it's some sort of sensor down the bottom and then on the windscreen as well. And then last but not least, you also have front parking sensors. Right, so on the side of the car, let's start with the wheels and tires. The Urban model has 17-inch alloy rims with Chinese tires, whereas the Ultimate will have 18-inch rims. I definitely rate it. It does look good. Tire-wise, being a Chinese tire, it won't be the best. It's okay wet and dry. So what I would recommend is just drive them till they're finished, and then after that you can upgrade them to a bit better tires. Moving down to the back here is also mud guards. They are precision fit mud guards that we've installed. They are aftermarket, and I'll also include a list in the description of all the aftermarket accessories that we've added to the car in case you want to check them out. Moving to the mirror, it does have an indicator in the mirror, and it also has blind spot monitoring, which is awesome. And it also lets you know, even in the passenger seat, like the seats here at the back, if you want to open your door, it will scream whether there's a car coming in traffic. So that is pretty cool. It's a very nice feature. The only thing that I wish the Urban model had is fold-in mirrors when the car is locked, whereas the Ultimate model does have fold-in mirrors. On the top here, you can see the roof is flat. There's no sunroof, whereas on the Ultimate you do get a sunroof. It does have roof rails as well, so in case you want to buy roof racks, there should be some available for this car. Moving down is the weather shields. They are also aftermarket. Looks pretty good on the car as well. Another feature that I love is a walk away feature. So if you walk away with the keys in your pocket, the car locks automatically. When you walk towards the car, it does unlock. So you don't have to press any buttons. It will just unlock by itself, which is great. Moving to the back as well. One thing I forgot to mention, both front and rear is disc brakes, and you also get these red calipers. They look pretty good, and it's not just for show. The brake system of this car is actually very good. So coming to the back side, at the top here is your spoiler with an integrated brake light, and then you also have this whole tail light section which is fully LED, which is awesome. So parking lights, brake lights, reverse lights, indicator, it's all in here, which is awesome. The Chery badge also looks pretty good. Moving down to the bottom here, it also has a reverse camera, and then down the bottom it has parking sensors, and then way down the bottom you also have a fog light if you want to turn that on as well. So another thing I wanted to show you is the actual key, which is very cool. So it does have lock and unlock, of course, and then it also has the boot button. Now the car doesn't have an electric tailgate, alright, so when you hold it in, it's not going to go open. It simply just unlocks it. So if you sit far away and someone else wants to grab something out of the boot, you just press that button, it's going to unlock the boot. I know. All right, and then the one that's most exciting, way down the bottom, is the start one. So it's a remote start. So all you got to do is just lock the car, and then you hold the start in. Just wait a few seconds. There you go. Boom, and the car turns on. How good is that? So it normally takes about a minute or two for the car to warm up. So during winter times, when you're in your house, you can just remote start it just before you get in, and by the time you get in, it's all warmed up. So that is a pretty cool feature. Right, so welcome to the interior of the car, and Chery has done a magnificent job because this car feels like luxury screaming at you from the inside without being too much. So at the top here, the dash is nice and soft. Even the lower section over here, your armrest is also soft, and the doors top and bottom is also soft. So that's just a very nice feeling that there's nothing really plasticky about the car, if you know what I mean. So let's start off with the steering wheel. So it is a D-shaped steering wheel. It is artificial leather by the looks of it. So we've just added a steering wheel cover because the sun will damage it, and if you rub on it all the time, it will damage it as well. So to avoid getting a new cover in the future, or to get leather stitching, that sort of thing, just add a cover. I'll put this in the description as well. So on the left of the steering wheel, as you can see, you can set your cruise control, which is good, and then you'll also see a steering wheel with an A on it. So essentially what that means is adaptive cruise control. So the cool thing is you set it, you have adaptive cruise control. One thing I wished the car had though is just normal cruise control, where you just activate it. Doesn't matter how far the car is in front of you, it's not adaptive. I definitely wish I had it, because with the adaptive cruise control, you can set it as well, the distance between the car in front of you and yourself. So at the top here, you can set it so there's a big distance, or on the bottom you can set it so there's a little distance. So currently we are on the closest distance to the car in front of us, but even at highway speeds, there's still like 3 cars that can fit between you and the car in front of you. So that's one thing that's not perfect, and I definitely wish there was a bit of a closer distance, because when you sit on the highway, you're on the right lane and there's 3 like cars lengths in front of you. It's just a little bit too much. So that's just one thing I wish was a little bit better. But moving on the right hand, there's a little star, so you can set your favorite feature on it essentially, or button. So when you press it, it's going to go into your screen there. Then there's just a normal mode, and there's also a voice assistant, so you can talk to Chery. To be honest, Chery hasn't been very, I don't know, very good. Like, we would ask her something and she would just not be correct. But that's alright. That's all good. Then you just have your normal volume controls, and then you also just have your phone answer or decline. So that's pretty cool. And then just a beep. Now hear this. It doesn't sound the best. It's alright, but it's definitely a bit funny. So just on top of the steering wheel here is your driver monitoring system. So it essentially just looks you in the eye all the time to make sure you're awake. So if you're going to sit here and you yawn, it's going to tell you need a coffee break. If you look elsewhere, it's going to tell you you're distracted. Please look in front of you. So sometimes this can be a bit annoying if you're looking elsewhere or whatnot, but most of the time it's fine if you just look in front of you. So looking at the screens, this is beautiful. So you have 2 10.25-inch screens, which is perfect, and the resolution is not the best, but it's also not the worst. It's just good. So no complaints there. So there's a few things we can go through on the screen, so I'll show you now. I almost forgot, the car also has electric start-stop. Okay, so let's talk about this massive screen, alright? So you've got picture. So if you do have a USB device, you can access all your pictures. So vehicle settings, now this is the biggest one. So smart key, you have a welcome light function, unlock the driver's door first, smart key detection, locking and unlocking. So this is basically the walkaway feature. That's a great one to leave on. So you have lightning, headlight delay, intelligent high beam. So that was the automatic high beam I was talking about. And you also have headlight height adjustment. So that's where we have ours. Moving to driver's assistance, so door open warning. So that's the one I also mentioned for the passengers. If they do want to open their door and it spots oncoming traffic, it will do a warning. Rear collision warning, so if you do a reverse and you don't see someone, it will show you. It also has blind spot detection. You also have forward collision warning, which is also great. And this one actually saved me one time because I was distracted and I didn't see the car in front of me and the car braked for me. So that was cool. And you can also set the sensitivity. So whether you want to set it near, far, standard, whatever, which is good. Automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, so this is off. I just leave it off completely. Departure warning mode is sound and vibration, and then lane departure sensitivity, definitely put this one on low because it is quite annoying when the car tries to keep you in a lane if it spots you going too close to one lane or the other. Speed limit assist, speed limit change alert, alarm mode, fatigue reminder, red cross traffic braking, emergency lane keeping, lane departure prevention, intelligent speed control, avoidance, TJA, ICA, exit notification, vehicle in front departure alert. So there's a heap of, tech loaded with this car, as you can see. And then steering force mode is in sport. So what I've done is put it in sport mode because the steering is very light if it's just on comfort. So I've just put it in sport mode, so it's a little bit heavier and it's much better. So there you go, and just leave this one off, otherwise it will be comfort in eco mode and in sport mode if the car is in sport mode. So moving on to your controls, automatic locking, you can turn that off if you don't like it, and then you can also show whether you want just lights going off or the horn. I like the horn because If you walk away from the car and you hear the horn, you know the car's locked. Air conditioning, you also have automatic cabin air cleaning, front seat ventilation, which is great. And then, yeah, you can just do that. And there's also energy saving, a strong or comfort air conditioning mode. Mine is just in comfort, but I guess if you put it in strong, the conditioning will be extra strong, which is cool. But yeah, so far, no problems with the air conditioning. Alright, then you also have your local settings, so just your normal Bluetooth if you want to listen music through Bluetooth. It also has Wi-Fi. Here's all your sound, so you can just adjust all your sound settings, loudness, all that sort of stuff. So basically what we've done is just did a custom one. We just put our bass all the way up and our treble a little bit up, and now it's pretty good. You also have your voice control, which is basically useless. So I'm just going to turn that off anyway, because she doesn't listen. Alright, and then your display. So this is another cool thing. You have automatic brightness. You also have different themes. So how cool is this? So you can literally apply different themes. I'll show you later what this looks like. And then you can also change your wallpaper if you just want a normal wallpaper, and etc, etc. And then you can also go to system settings, change your clock zones and all that sort of jazz. Alright, and then you can just go and you can phone someone if you're connected to Bluetooth. Media, that just goes to DAB radio, FM, AM, that sort of stuff. You can update it. You can go into Apple CarPlay. It does have Android Auto as well. There's a quick manual, so this is pretty handy. If you're stuck, you can just check out the manual. And then finally the video. If you want to see or watch videos on the USB, you can do that as well. But yeah, that's it. Here's also a little hack. If you want to turn off your lane departure prevention, you just swipe and then you click it. So there's a few things you can do. So yeah, easiest way is just to swipe it and then boop, tap it off, and then no more annoying lane prevention. So another thing I wanted to show you is when you activate adaptive cruise control, you just press this button here. Alright, so now it's activated. There you go. And if you do want the car to do its own thing, you can hold the button in and there's a blue circle that will go around the car. Now watch this. The car literally turns by itself and keeps it in the middle of the lane. So that is quite impressive. So here's a corner. As you can see, the car's literally doing its own thing. As long as you keep your hands on the steering wheel, it's all good. If you do want to deactivate it, you just hold it in again, and now you're in control. So now you're steering the car. So yeah, that's just a handy feature for Tiggo owners to know. If you do activate it on the highway and you feel like the car is doing its own thing and you're not in control, you can turn it off. Moving down to the center console, you have a few buttons there. So your home button, you have a mode. So basically this is economy mode and sport mode. So when you press it,
it has entered sport mode.
And this is actually a good sport mode. Like, the car is so much more responsive when you go into sport mode. So if you're feeling like being zippy around town, it makes a big difference. So Chery has done a good job there. Then you also have a media button. So this one just goes to your DAB or FM or AM radio, but you can also press it again and it will go to your music. Then you just have your hazard lights, volume down and up, and then you can also turn the screen off if you want to, and it will display a little wallpaper there for you if you want to leave it off. Moving down, you have a massive console here. So as you can see, it's made out of piano black. Now, piano black, I'm a big fan of it. It looks nice. The only thing about it is it does scratch and look dirty very quickly. So literally the first thing we did when we bought this car is we've put some protection, not glass over it, but it's like a cover. I'll also put the link in the description, but essentially it's just like a protective layer, like it would be for a phone, so it doesn't scratch. But anyway, so with the huge aircon, so let's turn it on. So as you can see, there's a big display here that shows the temperature, and it also has the normal functions like bring up the front screen, the back screen. It does have AC, recirculation, automatic. You can also sync it, so it does have dual air conditioning control or dual climate control, if you want to call it that. So the passenger can set their temperature and fan speed, and you can also set your fan speed and temperature on your side. So nothing fancy there, but it does look cool. Then you have your gear shifter. So this is pretty nice. You have your button up here for park, and then you can just move it back so it goes into reverse, neutral drive, or you can flick it to the side and you're in manual mode as well. And then moving further back, you have your electric park brake, and then down back you also have your auto hold feature. So this is nice, especially if you're on a steep hill. Have that on, the car won't move backward, it will just stay in one spot, so that's nice. Then you also have your phone pocket down here in your cup holder. So it's very much like the Pajero that we've got, which is nice. The only thing is it can only hold one phone. Then you also have the two cup holders here. They are pretty small, so you can fit a 600ml bottle or a can, but nothing bigger than that. And then you just have your center console here. So what we've done is we've added this little tray, so it's a center console organizer. Because what we do when we have our keys is we put it in here, so then it's just easier to reach instead of way down the bottom there. It is pretty deep, which is nice, so you can store quite a few things in there. And then one thing as well worth noting is you can also take one of these covers out of the cup holder, and then it's one huge long deep slot down there if you have like a very skinny long bottle. I'm not sure if a bottle of one will quite fit in there, but a skinny bottle will. So the other cool thing, it does have automatic headlights, and it also has automatic high beam. So this is a very cool feature that I like. So when you put on your high beam, essentially it will be on, but when it senses a car, it will turn it off, and then once the car goes past you, it will turn it back on again. So that is a pretty handy feature. On the left side, it also has automatic uppers. So when it rains, it will go on automatically, so that is pretty cool. Otherwise, you can just adjust all your settings as per usual. So on the actual door as well, you can see it's very nicely done. So your handles are like a metal, and then there's also the lock and unlock feature. That's only on the driver's side though, not on the passenger side. Down you also have your mirror control, so you can adjust your mirrors, and then you can also put down all your windows. One thing I wish Chery have done is to make all the windows automatic, because everything is automatic down. So passenger and back. So everything is literally automatic to go down, but everything is manual to go back up. So there's no automatic feature to make it go back up, which sucks a bit. I definitely wish that was automatic, because that's just one less thing, you know, to complain about. But that is pretty cool. So at the top here, basically this is your whole house of sensors. So that's where all the smart things are. You don't touch it. One thing I definitely wish it had is a USB outlet for dash camera. So it would have been so easy to literally just stick on your dash camera, put the USB in, and it has power. But now you've got to wire it all the way down to your center console to have power, or to a fuse box. So that's just a little bit annoying, and I really wish Chery has put in a USB outlet there. So then you just have your normal mirror to dim it up and down. You have your visors over here. It's nothing fancy, but you do have a mirror if you want to look yourself in the eye. So there you go, passenger side and driver side. And then moving to the middle here, as you can see, that's probably where the button goes for the sunroof on the Ultimate model. The interior lights are all LED, so nothing like super bright, but it is bright. So that's cool. So left side, right side, or when your doors open, it will go on as well. And then there you go, there's your sunnies holder. So it does have a sunnies holder, which is nice. There's no handle at the top here for some reason. Don't know why, but there's no handle, but that's all right. But all the other doors handles. So apart from that, you also have your cab wheel. So there you go, nothing fancy there. It does have a shock, so it goes slow down, which is nice. But yeah, not huge, but you know, you can fit some stuff in there. But my favorite thing must be the seat. So the seats are really nice. It is cloth, whereas the Ultimate model is artificial leather. That's just another thing to know, but I really do like these cloth seats, and they are very comfortable as well. So well done, Chery, for that one. The speaker system is also pretty good in this car. You have 6 speakers, so what we've done is we've just put the bass up all the way, and the sound is very nice. And then the very last thing for the front is moving down to the center console. So you actually have storage down there as well, and you have wireless charging on your Ultimate model, unfortunately not on the Urban. So what we've done is also fitted this center console organizer over here. So essentially the difference is it does have a higher edge here. So when you put your phone in there with the normal console, when you go around the corner, it will just fly out the door. So whereas with this one, everything stays in the pocket. So highly recommend getting one of these. And you also have your normal cigarette lighter socket, and then on the other side you have a USB socket. So what we've done is we've put our Apple CarPlay socket in there, because the wireless CarPlay on the Chery is not that great. Like, it would drop out every now and then, so that's definitely something I'm not a fan of. However, after putting this wireless one in here, it has fixed the problem, so that is good. And then just on top of it, there's a USB-C if you do want to charge your phone or laptop or whatever. Right, so this is also your screen. So as you can see, it displays just a heap of things: your kilometers, the gear you're in, how much fuel you got left, also whether you're in sport mode or if you're in economy mode. And there's 3 different things that you can set the screen as. So it's currently on technology. If you apply the classic theme, it will change it up. So there you go. If you do prefer the classic look, you can have that as well. Otherwise, the other one was style. So if you apply that one, it changes again to that one. But yeah, my personal favorite would have to be the technology one, which is just this one here. So there you go. Very futuristic. I love it, and it works great. And then you can also, go through the settings. So there you go. My current average on the 300 kilometer trip is 7.7 liters per 100. So it's not too shabby. And then you can also check your tire pressures, which is good. And then if you just go into notifications, you can check out your notifications. Otherwise, service mileage, reset if you do want to reset it. And then if you're on the screen, it will basically just display if you have cars around you and that sort of stuff. If you do want to set your adaptive cruise control, you can do that as well. And up here, it will also display all your features that are on. And here's what the reverse camera look like. There you go. So it's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. So that is pretty good. And on the Ultimate, you'll have 360 cameras, which the Urban doesn't. And then at the back here, you can see that's where your parking sensors are, and at the front as well. And here we are in the back. So as you can see, there is heaps of room. So even the car salesman, he was like 6 foot something. When he was in the back, his knees were still not touching the front seats, which is awesome. So with the front seats as well, you do have the pockets. So that is nice, and you do have this little aircon vent in the middle. So it's literally just the one, as you can see. So unfortunately, you can't change any of the controls here or the fan speed. But you do have a charging USB port here, and also a pocket down the bottom for your phone or other devices. So in the middle, you also do have your cup holders, which is standard these days on cars. And again, the cloth seats are very comfortable. So there's heaps of room as well, headspace. And then as you can see, that's where the blind spot monitoring will show. So it will flicker yellow if you're on the side of the road and you want to open your door, and it shows there's a car coming. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is the door room. So both front and rear does have space for bottles, etc. So that is pretty good. One flaw though from Chery, I don't know why they did it, but there's no lights at the top here. So you do have some at the front, but there's nothing at the back. So at night, when you're trying to get something out of the car, you got to bring your flashlight of your phone or something because you can't see anything. So I'm not sure, Chery, why you didn't put a light here, but that's definitely one annoying thing about this car. So hopefully future models will have it. Chery, please. But anyway, let's move to the boot. Alrighty, so last but not least, the boot. So here you go. The boot is nice and spacious. Unfortunately, Chery didn't bring out a cargo cover for the MY26 model. I don't know why is that, but apparently they tried to fit the MY25, but that didn't fit on the MY26. So they must have made slight changes, but now it doesn't fit. But apparently, I just heard about a week ago now that you can apply for a cargo cover from Chery. The dealers are now starting to get them in if you don't have one yourself at the moment. So that's a good thing to know. Otherwise, apart from that, if you fold down the seats from the back here, they don't quite go flat, but there is some more room for you. Otherwise, on the sides here, there's also some points where you can tie down things, which is good as well. At the moment, we've got a cargo cover here. It's just a bit of protection from all the things you put in here. So again, link in the description. And then also, if you do tire, but it's definitely a small one, it's not a full spare, so you can't get very far, but there's a jack and all sorts of things down here. So that is good to know that you at least have a spare that comes with your car. But yeah, to give you guys a bit of an idea how big the boat is, that's me sitting in it, and this is about the space. So hopefully you can see how big it is. I'll also put the liters on the screen as well, if you know how big that is. All right, but yeah, that's it. So there you go, guys. That's the ins and outs of the Chery Tiggo 4. As an owner, I'm very, very happy. And my wife is also extremely happy. She loves driving this thing, and it's a really nice car to drive. So driving wise, the suspension is great. It's nice and soft. The steering is good. Like I said, put it into the sport mode and it's a little bit heavier on the road, then it feels nice and sweet. Sport mode is also awesome. Whenever I get in this thing, I whack it onto sport mode and it just zooms everywhere. It's great. But yeah, all honesty, like, guys, would I recommend this car for you guys? And the answer is yes, I absolutely would. Like, you can't look past the value that this car is offering. It comes with a 7-year warranty and it's cap price servicing. All the services that we have is around the $300 mark, which I reckon is absolutely awesome. That includes changing over the timing belt as well. So I'm very happy. I don't have to work on this car. If anything is wrong or goes wrong, touch wood, nothing goes wrong. You know, it's back to the dealership. They sort it out. We've done about 3,000 Ks at the moment. So far mechanically, there's been nothing wrong with this car. Everything is very smooth. It's only the high-tech features that's a little bit annoying. The most annoying feature being the lane departure prevention. Like, that's one thing that's very annoying. Every time you start the car, you have to turn it off manually. And that's one annoying thing. I wish you could just turn it off permanently. The driver monitor system can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. You know, if you just look somewhere, it comes up with an error saying you're distracted, even if you're not. But it's just the little things. It comes with tech. Like, there's no tech out there on cars that's perfect, I'd imagine. So it's fine. Apart from that, probably the most annoying thing about this car is just a light that is not there in the passenger side. But if you go online and if you have a look at other companies, there is a company that does them as well. So you could always install it yourself, which is not a drama at all. But yeah, let me know what you guys reckon about Chinese cars in general. Like, this is our first one, and I reckon within the next few years, it's definitely going to be a Chinese dominated market. Especially looking at other Chinese brands as well. But this one is just caught my eye. Like, I remember Chery back in the day wasn't the greatest but they were there, and now they came back, and they came back strong, especially with all these new designs and having cars at a great price. Like even the Tiggo 7 and the Tiggo 8 is beautiful cars, and also so good for value, you know, like it's awesome. So yeah, overall I like the car, my wife likes it, she's happy, I'm happy, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where this car takes us. Mechanically, I'm not sure how long this car is going to last, but you know, we're in it for the long run, and hopefully it does last. Otherwise, if it doesn't, I'll just send it back to the dealership and it's fixed. Whereas with a second-hand car, you're stuffed, you're on your own. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I love it, and yeah, Chery, you've done a good job. Thanks for your support, guys. And for all your Tiggo owners, I hope you enjoy your car as well. By the way, it's one of the fastest selling cars in Australia at the moment, which is awesome, and it's already won the award for the best small SUV, I believe. I'll put all the awards up, but this car has won a few awards, so that is just awesome. Anyway, that's me done rambling. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully I've showed everything you wanted to know about this car, but if you have any other questions, drop it down below and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.